You're attractive, but like it's the first time I've been attracted to someone like you.
Girls, if you live in Germany and you're dating a German guy, never ever date a poor German guy. That's the worst scenario you can choose.
You're not working at the moment, or
No.
okay. And
Now, if the woman understands how to be a muse, then she could motivate me to work again.
A white person and you've dated a white person, stitch this and tell me the wildest thing they've ever. All right.
Just because Musongo and he's white, it doesn't mean that they have money.
Hey girl, I want to kiki a little bit, yeah? Now you know I'm a huge fan and I'm a huge proponent of white boy winter, but there are some white men that you should not be engaging with, and I want to go through the top 5 that I think you should not give the time of day to.
Hey, I hope you're well. So these are some of the early red flags that some of you actually don't give attention to, but I need you, starting from now, starting from the minute that you're watching this video, please put this in consideration. If I told somebody does these things, especially if I told you're dating outside your race.
Sometimes Black women share their dating experiences, especially in interracial relationships. And for sure, when you listen to their stories, one thing keeps coming up. And those are the red flags that are sometimes ignored. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Unfiltered for You Stories. So I came across some clips of creators sharing some of the red flags that Black women or non-white women interested in interracial relationships or interracial dating, especially with a white man, should take into consideration. So we are going to watch a few clips and then we can learn something, especially for those who are interested in dating white men. And without wasting time, let's jump into this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and give your views in the comments. I'll catch up with you after the clips are played.
I dated a guy and he told me that the reason that he would never marry me is because if we had kids, then he would be outnumbered. Yes, you heard that right. He was like, I don't feel comfortable being the only white person in my house. That's why white men are...
When I met you, I really thought for the first time ever, wow, I didn't know Black girls could be pretty like that. I didn't know that Black girls could be that pretty. So really, I was astounded. It took me back, and
That's sweet.
Girls, if you live in Germany and you're dating a German guy, never ever date a poor German guy. That's the worst scenario you can choose. I mean, like, dating a poor guy, that's a very bad investment of your time, of your beauty. And dating a poor German guy, that's the worst what you can do, because he will split the bill and at the end he will pay for everything. And he will support the so-called German Feminismus, yeah, female power, hashtag. And just don't do that. Just find a normal, rich, cool, blonde German guy with a German passport.
You're attractive, but like it's the first time I've been attracted to someone like you. Yeah.
Black?
I'm not saying anything, but honestly, I think you're hot.
Just say it if you've never liked a black person. Like, I don't get this. Just say it.
Well, and people might say that's weird, so whatever.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying?
No, I'm saying, like, yeah.
So yeah, I'm black.
Like, no, not like that. Like, don't make it weird, all right?
Yeah, I'm the one.
I'll miss you.
It's fun.
I'll probably see y'all tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah.
Good night. Your hand is so warm too, right?
you're not working at the moment, or
No.
Okay. And
Now, if the woman understands how to be a muse, then she could motivate me to work again, because I'm good at what I do, and I'm very good at what I do, actually. I just don't feel like doing it because there's nobody motivating me to do that.
okay, so right now you're full-time dad.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, everybody will ask the question. This is why I will ask it now.
Mhm.
How are your kids financially taken care of? I mean, or are you?
Yes, absolutely. And in the system of socialism, they're definitely taking care. Every school in here in socialism, but you're in Germany, you know.
I am
Schooling
in
is free.
Germany, but I just try.
Hospital is free, and her parents and her are way richer than I would ever be as an American. As an American, again, remember, I'm poor and below average. They are not. They are top 25 probably percentile here in Germany as far as finances.
So
So
the
my
woman's
children
financially
would.
taking care of children?
My ex, yes.
Okay.
And her boyfriend, who's a military person, is also financially taking care of the children.
Okay.
My job as a father here is to give time, provision, creativity, teaching them American English so that they can use that as adults and use that in the vernacular to make them more money, because American English is going to make them way more money than them learning British English. I still don't know why they teach this shit here. But so that's what my job is.
Just because Musungu and he's white, it doesn't mean that they have money. It doesn't mean that they have money. And there are some white guys, they have this habit. They will come there, they will impress you with money because they earn in dollars. And then when they come there, the money is like multiplied. They will impress you with what and what. They will, buy all kinds of things for you. They'll bring things for you, and you're like, oh, you need a pain. They have money, they do what? Not everyone has money, okay? When they come there just because they're Mzungu, it doesn't mean they have money. Don't let these guys deceive you. And you who is so desperate that you just want anything, as long as you're Mzungu them fire so that I can go to America, you will come here, my dear, you will start suffering. You start suffering. You need to know that the person you're getting married to is responsible, like and they are able to do things. You come here, you will have to file for taxes, they do all kinds of things. They need to have a good credit score. If they don't have a good credit score, you won't be able to own a house or rent a house, because so it looks like you don't make enough money, it looks like you don't pay back your debt. You need to marry someone who's able to get a good job, that you can have good health insurance. Kunotekwa kwatu kwati mzaenda pachingwere hospital, mzaenda kumatero hospital, mzaenda ukanyama hospital, mwaenda kuchitani treat for mahala. Here there is no free medication. Even just having a baby, you know how much it costs to have a child here? Yeah. It's a lot of things that you need to put in consideration. Nothing about it just because Basungu, you're like, when you have a penny, I'll just pampamira this one. You come here, my dear, you start suffering. You start suffering, you start struggling, because the person that you got married to doesn't make as much as you thought they do. And just because you're in America, it doesn't mean that your life will become better. You stay woke. I'm telling you so that you stay woke. Not when you see white skin. Okay.
Before you say I do to that your next white boyfriend, here are 5 red flags you should be on the lookout for. Number 1, is he a mommy's boy? I want to go to my mom. My mom says, run. You get why? Run. Number 2, if your Igbo husband hides his phone, in the history of me hearing about people getting married to a white man, I have never seen a white man hiding his phone. If he's hiding his phone, my sister, do what? Run. Number 3, if he makes racial slang jokingly, even say how I was just teasing my brother, my sister, is not joking. No, carry your things and run. You get why? Are you taking notes, or should I speak louder for the people at the back? Are you taking notes? Yes. Number 4, he's not educated. My sister, if you want to go out, make sure you go hard. Go hard. Education is what is very important for them. If you want to marry a white man, make sure you are going for the ones that are educated. You get reason why. Number 5, make sure the white person you're going out with can actually take care of himself. That is very important. Let him be able to take care of himself, take care of you. Even if he cannot take care of you, make sure he can take care of himself at least. You wouldn't want to go out, at the end of the day, you now go for something less. If not, just stick with your current boyfriend, or go back to your friend or your mom's friend's sons that want to marry you. So is there any other thing you would like me to share about interracial marriage? Let me know in the comment section. We don't gatekeep here. What do? We share. Thanks for watching.
A white person and you've dated a white person, stitch this and tell me the wildest thing they've ever. All right, so I'm gonna break the rules a little bit on this one. My ex-husband was white and we were together for 13 years, married for 7. So I'm gonna talk about something he said, something his family expressed, and something the community that we were in expressed. So I was the first and only black girl he's ever been with, and besides saying that he'd never seen himself having a mixed or colored or non-white baby, he would make remarks, I'm not gonna go into detail, but like about things about my body that he was just not used to or did not expect it to be the way it was, or how different things about my body were from a white woman's body, for instance, like the color of my areolas or things like that. And he didn't say anything with like malintent, but I don't think he clocked or realized that, you know, growing up with Eurocentric beauty standards, how some of those comments could be taken. His family made it very clear that his grandfather didn't really like black people, thought that they were ghetto and just didn't like black people, and I was in fact the only black person that his grandfather liked. And I don't know what kind of compliment that was, but it was supposed to be a compliment. So we met and dated at a Christian college. We interned at churches together, and we eventually went into full-time ministry together. And I can't even count the amount of white men who wanted to remind me to be more submissive to my husband. Whether I was actually saying anything or not, I was constantly being reminded of, you know, what my place was and how I needed to behave, and that God would be glorified through my submission.
As a black woman who has dabbled into interracial dating, I would be doing every black woman a disservice by not telling you what men to avoid. Now, obviously there's no ring on this finger, so take my advice with a grain of salt, whatever. But this is just based on my experiences and what I think you will expect to go through if you date these types of white men. So starting off strong, any type of frat boy, stay far away, okay? And this is not just for black women, any woman of color, you are just either a fetish or someone to try out before they get out of college. Also, any type of white athlete, like, I don't know what it's about, but like, they are not going to take you seriously. And also, if you would like to be back in high school once you get to college, involve yourself with one of these types of guys, because girls are going to be spreading rumors about you. So stay far away, okay? And of course, number 2, the country boy, I guess. Oddly enough, I wouldn't say all country boys are who you should avoid, but the ones that are very openly political or really like sarcastic, blunt, they're going to give you a run for your money. And I don't know if you guys have seen that Winnie Parker story. Stay away from those types of men. Stay away as a black woman, because they feel like they're doing you a service by even taking you out anywhere. And that is how your relationship's going to pan out. Lastly, I feel like this applies for all races, but mama's boys. Especially like if you've met his family and no one in his family dates outside of their race, his mom is going to be all up in your business. In my last relationship, his mom would go as far as checking his bank statements to see if my boyfriend at the time was spending money on me. And if he was, like, once a week, she would demand seeing him for like an hour to basically scold him into not spending money on his girlfriend. I'm sorry, on his black girlfriend. Let me know if you guys want a part 2, because I have more history and experience than I'd like to admit, and it's honestly kind of embarrassing.
Hey girl, I want to kiki a little bit, yeah? Now, you know I'm a huge fan and I'm a huge proponent of white boy winter, but there are some white men that you should not be engaging with, and I want to go through the top 5 that I think you should not give the time of day to, okay? Girl, So the first white guy you should never get the time of day to is a white guy with no lips, girl. Number one, this scares me. Number two, a guy with no lips literally cannot kiss you. And if he can't kiss you, he can't be a good boyfriend or husband. Number three, guys with no lips, they lie. I feel like because there are no lips, like the lies just fall out, girl. They just fall, yeah? And in my experience, the white guys with no lips tend to be more racist. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if that's been your experience as well. But white men with no lips, no, no, no. So the second set of white guys that I want you to avoid during this white boy winter are the white chocolates. And I know for many of you, that is your flavor white, girl. That's the only white that you can do. But girl, please understand that most of these guys are players and they have a lot of women chasing after them. So they're not really trying to get to know women at a deeper level for the most part. Like, quiet as it's kept, girl, many of them don't even know themselves. No shade. Now, the third kind of white guy that I want you to stay away from is the white guy that only is into predominantly white sports. Now, I know a lot of you are scared to date white guys because you think that they're gonna inflict some sort of harm or danger. Girl, these predominantly white sports are like KKK rallies, no shade. So if he is into hockey and lacrosse and that's all he deals with, he doesn't deal with any basketball, any football, anything else, girl. If he prefers the winter sports over the summer sports, that is a red flag for me. Run away immediately. The fourth kind of white guy that I want you to avoid while dating in this white boy winter are what I call the Nepo whites. Now, if he has like a third or a fourth at the end of his name, if he's John the third, John the fourth, girl, if he is a legacy, if his dad is very powerful, he is probably rebelling against his family and dating a black girl because he wants attention and knowing full well that his family is not going to accept her. So don't fall into this trap. As someone who has gone to boarding schools and top institutions, you got a lot of these legacies, these Nepo babies that will do this, but will not truly take you seriously. So don't engage with them, okay? Robin Thicke is a good example of this. And now finally, last but not least, any white man that gives you a compliment about your skin is giving Silence of the Lambs. Danger, danger, stranger danger. Run away immediately. Scary. That is fetishism. That is not a compliment. And I want you to run away as quickly as possible. Now, it's tricky because a lot of white men will give you a compliment about your hair, but if they give you a compliment about your skin, it's creepy territory. So avoid these white men as well. Now, I hope this list was really helpful for you as you're navigating your white boy winter. Let me know in the comments other white men that we need to avoid so that you can have your best white boy winter ever. Hope you had fun.
Hey, I hope you're well. So these are some of the early red flags that some of you actually don't give attention to, but I need you, starting from now, starting from the minute that you're watching this video, please put this in consideration. If I told somebody does these things, especially if I told you're dating outside your race, or you're dating a foreigner, or somebody who is not of your, even though if somebody in your home country, girl, watch out, okay? Number one, if I told that man is manipulative, if I told you end up doing things that you actually didn't want to do, but you did anyway, just because he tried to make you feel guilty or made you feel guilty about you not doing those things for him, girl, that's manipulation. Watch out for that. Another number, if at all he's love bombing you, love bombing is you just met this person and then he's showering you with a lot of things. Okay, it might be gifts, it might be money, and for that I'm like, okay, we all love money and all that, but girl, proceed with caution, because before you know it, that man has upgraded your life and then you are into this lifestyle that you can't even afford. Because I don't know how many DMs that I get when people be like, yeah, my man left and I don't even know how to pay for rent, like I don't have the money to cover my rent. Like, girl, it's just 1 month after that man has left and you can't even sustain a month rent for that apartment that you're living in. By no means I'm not saying you don't go into expensive lifestyle or whatever, but make sure that at least you can sustain that lifestyle for a little period of time if I told that man, God forbid, ups and leaves. Okay. Another number, if at all that man lacks accountability whatsoever, if everything is your fault, like he's never in fault, like he doesn't believe that he can never do anything wrong, girl, that's a red flag. Okay. Another number, if at all you are financially 100% dependent on that man, that's actually a red flag too. Because girl, you as a lady, you as a girl, you as a woman, You better have some money that can sustain you if at all that man ups and leaves, so that he doesn't leave you high and dry. Okay? All right. Another number, I don't know what number I'm on, but if at all that man is, trying to humble you, like you do something and try to come down, come at your confidence, like try to humble you, the girl, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. Okay? If at all a man is not confident in himself, he's going to try to come to you, try to knock you down a few notches. Girl, that's a red flag. Okay? Another number, I don't know what number I'm on, but if at all that man is, trying to silence you, like you only have to listen to him because he's a man, and you don't have to say anything because whatever you're saying is bullshit, like your opinion is not put in consideration, girl, that's a red flag. Okay? Another number, controlling. If at all that man is trying to control you or try to change you into somebody that you feel like you are not comfortable being or you've never been, girl, that's a red flag. For example, if at all that man found you, your lifestyle is a certain way, you always, spend time with family, whatever, and he's like, yeah, I don't want you to do that, like, okay, you don't have to dress like that. Girl, that's a little bit of manipulation there. Okay, I mean, to each their own, but to me that is okay. And you need to, and it never gets better with all these things that I'm telling you. If at all it's just a few months that you've started talking and this man is already exhibiting all those, girl, it never gets better. It doesn't get better from that. Okay, another number, lastly, because I want to keep this not so long. Okay, I'll come back in a part 2, but yeah, another number is if at all he tries to isolate you. If at all that man always ends up, being in his feelings just because you went out with your friends, just because you spend time with your family, just because he only wants you to spend time with him, or all the time he wants you to be on his phone, on your phone, texting him, talking to him, like he just wants to center all your attention on him. He tries to isolate you so that you don't have anybody else in your life apart from him. Girl, that's a red flag. Okay, so I'll come back in the next part. Otherwise, y'all watch out for these people, because girl, the people in my DMs, y'all, like, I'm scared for y'all. But because, like, how did y'all get to that? Somebody sends me something and I'm like, oh my goodness, how did you get to that? Like, girl, didn't you just see this in the very beginning? Because I promise you, these people just don't, like, he's just gonna pretend for years and years. No, in the very beginning, those signs are always there, but you choose to ignore them. So please watch out. Don't say you didn't hear this from anybody, because girl, I'm here for it. I'm here to tell you that. I'm here to be your big sister, even though some of you are bigger than me. But hey, you're watch it.
Some of these red flags do not only apply to white men, some of them apply to any other kind of man that you may be interested in dating. And like we have heard from those creators, fetishization is a very big red flag. If he says things like, I've always wanted to be with a black woman, I love chocolate women, you are my type because of your look. If you come across such a man who uses such words, just run. Because it is not always admiration, it can be fetishization. If he focused only on your race than your personality, then you are not being seen, but you are being categorized. Then also, if he uses anti-black comments disguised as a preference, that is a red flag. Yeah, you have to watch how he talks about black women in general. If you hear things like, you are not like others, I don't usually like black women, but you are different, that is a big problem, because he is separating you from your identity just to make you acceptable. And if you go ahead and date such a man, that mindset may turn on to you. And this one also, where some white men or any other man says that I don't see color, that is a red flag. Of course, it may sound harmless to you, but when a man doesn't see color, what often follows is dismissing your experiences, avoiding conversations about race, and acting uncomfortable when real issues come up. If you're also dating someone or talking to a white man, and then he talks about family racism, and then maybe he also talks racist things in a casual way, that is a red flag, like we have had some of those creators also sharing. Then also, If this guy is hiding the relationship, he doesn't want to appear with you in public, he doesn't want to introduce you to even his family and friends, that is a very big red flag. White men with a savior complex, that is a very big red flag. You need to watch out for his mindset when you're talking to such a person. If he says things like, I can give you a better life, you don't have to struggle anymore when you're with me. He comes in the name of a savior, that is a red flag. Let him come in the name of wanting you, loving you, attracted to you, like seeing you in different ways, and not because you're poor, because you're struggling. Have something that gives you money so that you don't fall for such men. The mommy's boys, those are red flags. Then of course, like some people have always said, if you're looking for a white man, don't look for the one who is also struggling with life. Go for one who is stable, who is responsible, and who can take care of himself and a family. That means don't just look at color. The same way you look at a black man if you're dating him, or if you're to date him, or the same way you would be looking at an African man if you want to date him, or if you're dating him, is the same way that you should look at a white man. Make it a little bit tighter. Don't just get excited because of his color. Otherwise, we shall fall into so many issues, so many problems. We shall overlook the red flags that we would have taken serious. We might fall for a man who is not even responsible enough. We might fall for a man who is even maybe on government support. Watch out for that also, especially for those in Africa where there are no white men, or where there are not many white men. We don't have that experience of living with these people. So let's not get excited. And then also for the white men, by the way, they don't just fall in love like that. They will not tell you I love you just like that. If you find one who tells you I love you very fast, run. That is a red flag. This one is about health. Please, if you're talking to a white man, or if you start dating a white man, and then it comes to the time of you meeting, say he's traveling from abroad to Africa, when it comes to that time of meeting, or if you talk to him and then you share about HIV and AIDS, taking tests before having physical intimacy with him, then he dismisses it off. He says that, no, it's not necessary, that is not important, please take it serious, insist on it, like you need to have an HIV and AIDS test. Forget about what we thought or what we were told, that these diseases are only in Africa. These diseases are everywhere, and these days it's even getting worse. And not only the white men, any foreigner, even if they are black and they have been abroad, even if they are Africans and they have been abroad, even if they are blacks, I don't know born where or where, please take your health very serious. Do those tests. And then also, if you're talking, or if you meet a white man who has been in Africa so many times, for me, I see it as a red flag. If this white man has always been traveling to Africa every holidays, every vacation, every time that he gets time, he goes to any African country, why didn't he get a woman the times he visited? This man might have been having so many women whenever he came. He used them and dumped them. And don't trust white men thinking that they are really faithful. They are just like any other man. They are those who are really players and cheaters. Then another creator talked about avoiding white men with young children. This is true. It's a red flag. Don't rush to commit yourself. Don't rush to get into that relationship. Most especially if you are younger, if you don't have kids of your own, you don't have any experience of having children, it may be a red flag for you. And so many other red flags. Red flags are endless. Anything that you feel uncomfortable with the person, that is a red flag. Anything that you feel off, that is a red flag. So just watch out. If you found this video interesting, please give it a like. And if you're new here, or if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Thank you so much for watching, and let's catch up in the next video.